YouTube, what is going on? Welcome to the latest episode of the Silver and Gold Stack Attack. As always, a quick thank you for taking some time out of your day to check out the new video, and yeah, for being the best damn community here on YouTube, without a doubt. So, when we all first started stacking, it's more than likely that we set a weight goal for ourselves. We might have based it on myriad different reasons, but we all started with a purpose. Now, for me personally, I thought I was missing out on something when one of my buddies who, for lack of better terms, is an admitted rube when it comes to finances. He bought a 100-ounce silver bar, and he showed it to me, and he went over some really reasonable thoughts on why he wanted to get into silver. Well, I didn't want to miss a potential boat, so of course I started buying my own after doing roughly a month of research, and that's what pretty much started the descent into the insanity.
Happy.
Alright, it's not quite that bad, so for you newer stackers, don't get scared off. But does stacking metals have the potential to turn into an addiction? I'm going to go over some reasons why, and we'll have a quick convo on the good and the bad of stacking silver and gold. Now, all that said, let's go ahead and roll this thing. Alright, so when we talk about stacking turning into a potential addiction, I'm actually speaking from my own experience. Now, when I first started out, I followed all the golden rules of stacking, which was setting a goal, stacking at the lowest possible cost, sticking to a budget, not going into debt or having much of it while stacking, not letting metals become more than 20 to 25% of my overall portfolio, and having an exit plan. Now, when it comes down to it, basic stacking is pretty much broken down into those 6 main rules. And if you follow them, you'll generally be just fine. But as we all know, rules aren't made for everyone, nor do we follow them all the time. So we stack the way we see fit. I get it. Trust me, I get it. Anyway, after a few years of being Mr. Diligent Stacker, following the rules, I found that I hit my weight goal in silver, at least, fairly quickly. Gold for me is an ongoing endeavor since I buy it when I can, with no stoppage planned. I'm just going to keep buying gold. Now, hitting my silver weight goal was a milestone, and I felt like I'd actually accomplished something. My original plan was to stack the equivalent of 12 months of bills to have as a backup, just in case something went wrong financially, but the worst thing that can happen to a stacker happened to me. I was bitten by the silver bug. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, after I was done with my weight goal, I found that I love stacking so much, and the satisfaction of turning a failing dollar into something with at least some tangible value, it felt so good I just kept on going. Now, I generally make a purchase once a week, and I can tell you this, when I miss a week, I literally feel like I missed out, and I go through kind of a mini withdrawal. To the point where I'll just buy something online if I can't get to the LCS that week. So the potential for a mini addiction does exist under certain circumstances. I do feel like I could easily stop if I hit a point where I'm satisfied, but no guarantees. And hey, I'm just having a blast doing it, and I keep on rolling. I really do love going to the coin shows and the camaraderie of the group of us from YouTube that meet up there. We mill around the shows, buy up some treasures, and hit a place to eat after we're done. Now, these are folks I consider very good friends, and it's one thing that I'm thankful for on YouTube. The relationships and friendships that I made both in person and online. And that goes a long way to making this whole thing a hell of a lot more fun. So potential for addiction aside, there are some really solid reasons to stack silver and gold. Now that said, is there such thing as stacking too much? Well, from a basic standpoint, there's no such thing as stacking too much in terms of at least legality and financial responsibility, unless you continue to accrue debt and not pay off your existing debt while you're spending all your disposable income on metals. Now, to me, that's just not the way to go about it. Carrying too much debt while paying off minimum monthly payments is a detriment to your stacking. I'm sorry, but it just is. And never use credit cards to buy metals unless you have the intention of paying off your purchase before the interest kicks in. I use credit all the time because I get the cash back and the rewards like air miles and whatnot, but I also pay off my metal purchases before a single cent of interest is applied. Now, as far as how much you should own, well, that's a personal decision based on your own financial goals and risk tolerance. Not all stackers are created equal, and it's important to stick to your budget and your plan. Don't look at another stacker's insane silver and gold like you see on here from certain individuals on YouTube and feel like you have to keep up with them. That's just putting emotional and financial stress on you, and there's enough of that crap going on in the world already. There's no need to complicate life even further. Never, ever covet thy neighbor's stack. you're only asking for trouble.
For this you shall drink bitter waters.
Alright, so let's do a quick good and bad list for stacking silver and gold. Here I've got 4 really solid reasons to stack, and they are: number 1, first and foremost, you're preserving your wealth in something other than a declining dollar. Now look, we all know it. It's been proven over history. All fiat currencies in history have failed. Every last one of them. And the dollar has gone the longest so far out of all of them. So time it is a ticking. We don't know the when, but we know the end is inevitable. Even if the dollar goes digital, the same damn problems will still exist. A digital dollar is not going to be immune to the same issues the paper dollar was. It's all the same, just in a different form. Number 2, it's a hedge against economic uncertainty. And with all the global economic strife going on out there, we might actually need it someday. Number 3, you're building up a savings account. This was the part I love. Just think, if you don't end up having to use your metals to survive an economic collapse in the United States or any country you're living in, you've saved up a ton of funds to do whatever you want in retirement. Everyone has their reasons for stacking. Some are leaving it for their kids, some are padding their retirement, and others have set a goal for the funds once they're ready. Like real estate, that's my goal. I'm buying land, mountain land, and a cabin. There are tons of reasons, and stacking metals for a savings account is definitely a positive use for that disposable income. And lastly, number 4, you're holding a unique blend of tangible asset ownership that has the potential, emphasis on the word potential, for financial growth. Metals are a long haul, all right? They just are. And far too many new stackers either don't realize that, or they want to play Wall Street with them and short them, and the metals fail to turn a profit for them. That's when they get pissed off and they quit because metals didn't move quickly enough for them. They made a poor decision and it probably cost them more money.
You chose poorly.
So there are plenty of good reasons to stack, but there are some detractors out there who claim you shouldn't waste your money on a commodity that doesn't pay out dividends, like stocks, or give the returns of high-interest savings accounts and other investment vehicles. You also have to deal with storing a lot of metal weight, and you could end up paying capital gains taxes when you sell your stuff up to about 28%. So that's going to eat away a ton of your profit you might have made. And there's always the you can't eat silver and gold in an emergency. Duh. Those guys are all out there. Blah, blah, blah. For me, again, my metals are a savings account only. They do not dominate my portfolio since I have other investments making profits day to day. And I'm not worried about having to eat my metals, to you people out there, if we have an SHTF, because I've prepped in other ways to avoid that scenario. Hello. Some people just think we don't have a clue. And honestly, I'm getting tired of hearing it from those folks. Stackers are probably more prepared than the naysayers that have nothing better to say or do other than having a derisive attitude toward us. It's insane. But I have a feeling we're going to be the ones laughing when it's all said and done. All right. There you have it, folks. So what are your thoughts on stacking being potentially addictive? Do you have enough? Or are you just going to keep stacking to the ceiling? And do you have an end game for your stack when the time comes? I'm just curious. Be sure to leave a comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are. You guys know I love going through them, so make sure you sound off. And that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the Silver and Gold Stack Attack. And if you made it this far, well, kudos to you. I'll definitely catch up with you in the next episode. But in the meantime, you know what's up.
What do you want to do with your life?
I want to stack. Damn right, get stacked. Stay safe and be well, everyone. Be sure to catch me and my silver journey next Wednesday at 8:30 for Stacker's Corner. We do it every Wednesday. But until then, I am out of here. Peace, folks. Have a great week ahead.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.